It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here and this is episode number 175 of our podcast where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens.
More chickens. We drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton, but most importantly,
we hug chickens every day.
And we kiss them too, don't forget. We brew coffee from a little coffee house in historic Gettysburg, PA. Bantam Coffee Roasters. Holly, and what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
Today is a delicious Nicaraguan coffee.
And we love it. It's nice and strong on this rainy, horrible day.
Yeah, it's dreary out there.
And where can everybody find their Bantam coffee?
BantamRoasters.com.
And follow them on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget to use that code FluffyButt for 10% off. It's a great code, 10% off anything you buy on the website. Are you ready to sip some of this delicious coffee and chat?
I am, but first, a word from our sponsor.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us in Grubbly's, go to our website or our show notes and use the link. Try it today. Okay, so it's raining like crazy and I'm freezing. How are you doing?
I'm okay. By the time this drops, I hope it's not raining like crazy. It's nice and warm.
I know. I'm going to have to take a look at my runs out there because the way they're graded right now, and the amount of rain we're getting, I keep getting floods on different parts of my runs. And it's so annoying.
It's your turn because we were getting all the rain before and my sheep field was like a flood. It's part of spring in the muddy mid-Atlantic. There's not much we can do about it.
It's bad right now.
We bought some of those mud blocks, the ones that interlink that you can put down. And we had to put them in the front of Rambo's run. And I'll tell you, they do work very well.
I might have to invest.
They're not cheap. The shipping costs as much as the blocks do.
I hate that when that happens.
They really work and they're very easy to put down.
I need me some.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how was your Easter?
It was pretty nice, low key like it always is.
Yeah, we went to brunch at the club and it was pretty quiet otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
The kids still do their Easter egg hunt. It does not matter. We always come like a few eggs missing every year and then find them in like July.
Oh, where are they? I'm surprised somebody else doesn't find them first.
We usually hide over like 100 eggs and then...
Good Lord.
Yeah, and then the girls, I mean, they're 19 and 14, but they still want to find the eggs.
Okay.
And we're always like too short. We can't remember where we put them. And then in July, I'll be like, oh, there's the egg.
Do you hide them outside or inside?
Outside.
Yeah, I'm surprised like a raccoon or something hasn't found them and eaten them.
The very first year we put candy in the eggs.
Okay.
Never again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. So we wake up on Easter morning and the girls are like, why are there Easter eggs opened up all over the yard? Oh, yes.
The squirrels?
I don't know.
Somebody got them.
Somebody was like, yeah.
Jackpot.
It might have been the foxes. I don't know. The foxes that we have take everything we have out that we leave out. So
you have really swiper foxes around here.
We do. So yeah, the Easter egg hunt's always fun. And then we end up just giving them money at the end for finding the Easter eggs. That's really why they want to find the Easter
Damn, you
egg.
pay people to find Easter eggs?
Are you coming over?
Yeah, I'm going to get in on this action.
Next year, Aunt Holly's in on the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah. I'm cutthroat, girls. Look out.
Oh, yeah. You are. You would be like pushing them out of the way and stuff. No doubt. So how's everything else on your end?
Pretty good. A whole heck of a lot of work. Excited for the babies. The babies will be here this month. It's April 2nd.
Oh, yeah.
Our chicks will be here in a few weeks. I'm very excited for that.
Oh, yeah.
Pete and I are in the process of really cleaning out the garage because we have our special needs hen in a pop-up in there.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have the chicks in a pop-up. And then at the end of May, we're going to have the goslings in a pop-up.
Oh, yeah.
Our garage is going to be the happening place.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Oh, I'm excited to get the Polish. That's been a bucket list chicken for me from the very beginning.
Okay.
Buff lace Polish.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm anxious to see how they're going to get along with my Houdan babies because the Houdans are like, they're stars.
I don't see why they wouldn't get along well. They look very, very similar.
They're mama's girls.
Okay.
So I'm like, these Polish have got to get along with the Houdinians for sure. So on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a written review. It does amazing things for the growth of our show. Hey, and while you're thinking about leaving reviews, if you're listening on Spotify, go ahead over and give us a 5-star. We would love it. And subscribe on both because they count them.
If you're looking for other ways to help support the podcast, you can tell a few chicken-loving friends about us. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can visit our Etsy shop, check out what we have there. You can become a patron of the show, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. There's a really amazing group of helpful people over there on Patreon.
Love those ladies.
The other thing you can do to help support the show is visit our website and our show notes, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsors.
Yay!
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you like subscription boxes?
Does it have anything to do with chickens?
Of course.
Then yeah. Let me take a minute to tell you about the Chicken Love Box. If you love goodies for your chickens and you need to go to chickenlove.com.
I love the mega box. Tons of useful products for my flock and a chicken tea for me.
You can't go wrong with a chicken tea. They are so cute and so soft.
In the February box, I absolutely love the spray bottle of Bye Bye Boo Boos and the Rooster cheese spreader knife.
I love the Chicken Lady Era hat and tea. They're great, and you can't go wrong with that coffee with the Chicken Ladies mug.
Boxes start at $39 a month. They ship immediately after your order, and shipping is always free.
Such a great deal. Don't wait. Get off the nest and click already. Use the code CWTCL50 for 50% off your first box of a 3-month subscription or more. That's chickenlove.com. That's chickenluv.com. Get your subscription today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards.
Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today. It's time for the Breed Spotlight, yeah.
Yeah, but you're going to have to help me out on that.
I was trying to do the Batman thing.
What does the Batman have to do with this?
Harlequin.
Oh, sweet Jesus, that's a stretch. Oh, my God. Okay.
Okay, so this week's...
You've almost taken all the fun out of the spotlight.
This week's Breed Spotlight is...
the Welsh Harlequin Duck.
I
didn't even realize it was the Batman theme.
I think I didn't really do it 100% the right way.
No, nuh-uh.
I was trying to remember it.
Well,
okay, this is a cute little duck, though.
It is very cute. The beautiful Welsh Harlequin is one of the most popular duck breeds around, which is saying something because ducks are really popular right now.
And this duck is one of the most popular.
They're really, really beautiful. They're light-bodied. They're very good layers. They're very healthy and hardy, and they have a great personality. Plus, they are gorgeous.
Really pretty.
They were developed in Wales after the Second World War, so right about 1949.
A little bit after our parents.
Yeah, well, my mom was born in 41.
My dad, 47, my mom, 48, so right about the same time.
Right about the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
The ducks were accepted into the American Poultry Association Standard of Perfection in 2001. And they're currently found in the watch category of the Livestock Conservancy's Conservation Priority List.
Okay, they're in the watch, but they're popular. They still need some help, though.
But they're still a heritage breed. I mean, heritage breeds just aren't as widespread as we want them to be.
We want them to be widespread. I mean, there's no reason duck-wise to go get a hybrid.
Well, I think that the fact that ducks are becoming more popular is only going to help them.
Oh, yeah,
but,
for sure.
Yeah, I would assume at this point, even the most popular heritage breed duck is still going to be on the conservation
list. Before Cooptastic, before Mark Metzer did his talk and talking about the hybrid ducks, I did not know there were hybrid ducks.
Yeah, hybrid laying ducks, yeah.
I mean, because I don't have ducks, so I didn't really know. I didn't really do all the research into them that way, but I was like, man, there's hybrid ducks? Mm-hmm. Let's keep it with the heritage breed, everybody. Keep it with the heritage breed.
Now, the story of the Welsh Harlequin starts with Captain Leslie Bonnet.
Batman.
No. Bonnet was an Englishman who grew up in Herefordshire He was the son of a banker, but his mother was a Dudley.
Okay.
That was a very well-known farming family in the area. I just like that. His mother was a Dudley.
You had that like pause in there. It was a Dudley.
Yeah.
That was a well-known farming family.
Well, the pause is going to be taken out.
No, you have to leave that in there. We have to leave that in because that was like for effect. Dudley.
Yeah, Dudley.
A well-known farming family.
Yes, they were. Leslie Bonnet went to law school. He eventually became a banker. Somewhere along the way, he began writing and publishing short stories, and he wrote a lot of them over his lifetime. And at some point in here, he began keeping and breeding ducks, but I have not been able to find out exactly when.
Okay.
Maybe his mother kept ducks and she was from a farming family. Maybe the Dudleys kept ducks.
Dudleys kept ducks.
Maybe. So for whatever.
Dudleys kept ducks.
Duck keepers.
Duck keepers.
Now, in the late 1930s, Bonnet took a huge left turn and enlisted with the Royal Air Force. He went from banking to
his
the
father
military.
said, "Stop messing with these ducks and go into the Air Force."
Because he was older, he was not given like active combat.
Okay.
He was assigned to the Balloon Brigade. Now, if you don't know anything about the Balloon Brigade or what they call the barrage balloons, man, go look this up. This is a little known facet of World War II history. It is fascinating, the Balloon Brigade. Bonnet stayed in the military until 1947. While he was still in the military, something very significant in his life happened.
Oh, God, he got divorced.
He divorced his first wife, Gertrude.
Oh, okay.
And he married a woman named Joan Hutt. Joan Hutt is an artist, and she had regularly exhibited her paintings at the bank where he worked.
Oh, boy, I feel a drama brewing in that little situation there.
Well, I don't know what happened other than...
He liked her paintings.
Yes, he did.
He
said,
really
"Can I
did.
hang your painting in my parlor, please?"
Yes, please.
We know he left the military in 1947. 2 years later, in 1949, Captain Bonnet loaded up his second wife, Joan, their 4 kids, their 2 dogs, and about 1,500 ducks.
Maybe his first wife didn't like the ducks.
It could be.
And he liked Joan's paintings. But then these 4 kids, are they from the first marriage?
No.
These are the things I look into.
So he had a son named Bill from his first wife, Gertrude. And Bill is a very frequent visitor in their household.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess he did stay with his mother. But they had a cordial relationship, so it was okay.
So he had 3 kids with Joan.
Oh, he had 5 altogether with Joan.
Oh, they were happy.
So he takes all the ducks, the kids, the dogs, and they move to this rundown 25-acre manor near the town of Creakyheath in Wales.
Okay. This guy's a pretty interesting story. He could have his own little soap opera going on.
He really could. Apparently, they were all happy as larks there. There was another baby that popped up. That was number 5.
That was number 5.
Joan continued to paint.
She probably painted ducks.
She may have painted ducks. If she did, I'm going to have to find one of those. Leslie continued writing his stories and breeding his waterfowl. So this looks like it could be a BBC drama.
This could be a drama. Seriously. I mean, you got, he's the wife, probably the first one didn't like ducks. He's like, forget it. I'm out of here. I like Joan's paintings.
Joan's paintings are beautiful.
She's going to paint. She doesn't care. I have 1,500 ducks.
Apparently not.
She's just going to paint them. And then we're going to pop out like 4 more kids.
Joan paints and has babies. That's what Joan does.
That's what Joan does. Pretty happy life there.
Eventually, he also wrote a book on duck care, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
That's later on in his career. We know that at least some of the ducks that Leslie Bonnet had were khaki Campbells. Khaki Campbell is another light duck breed.
It's very popular right now.
Very popular. Developed in the UK in the late 1890s.
I think they're really good layers also.
Extremely good layers.
Yeah.
They were the origins of the Harlequin.
Okay.
Bonnet noticed that 2 Campbell ducklings hatched very light in color, and he grabbed them and began developing this line of ducks, and he named them
the Welsh Harlequin.
That has nothing to do with Batman.
I just like the ring of it.
Every time I see Batman somewhere, I'm going to think about the Welsh Harlequin.
Like in the big, how they do the big star, they write like bam, like they write it.
Oh, you're talking about the Adam West Batman, the old stuff.
Yeah.
Duck.
Harlequin.
Okay. So Leslie Bonnet loved his Welsh Harlequins, and he sold them all over the place, and I mean all over the world. In 1968, he sent a shipment of hatching eggs to Tennessee and established the first flocks here.
Hey, did Metzer get them?
Not in Tennessee. The Mets
No,
were
I
not
know
in Tennessee yet.
They weren't in Tennessee yet.
No. At some point, and again, I couldn't track down who did this. In 1981, there was a shipment of adult ducks imported. And I guess with fresh genetic material, the ducks became much more widely available to the public afterwards.
Okay, so were you able to find out where he came up with Welsh Harlequin for the name?
No.
Joan probably gave it to him. Joan's like, let's name them Welsh Harlequin.
I'm sure Joan gave him a lot.
Joan gave him a lot.
I'm not sure that she
I'm
named the
going
ducks.
with Joan came up with the name.
Well, Joan, it was really fun because Joan has a Wikipedia page. I was like, she's a known painter.
Well, did you find duck paintings?
I didn't look for her paintings yet. How much time do you think I have? Good Lord. Now, this is an important thing to know about these ducks. There are two color forms of the Welsh Harlequin. Here in the U.S., we have the silver. And in the U.K., there are both gold and silver.
Hey, why didn't we get the gold too?
I don't know. The original color was the gold, and Captain Bonnet worked for another decade or so on the silver, and we're concentrating on the silver for the spotlight because there's really not a lot that I could find out about the gold.
And that's what we have.
And that's what we have.
And that's what you're going to get.
That's right.
So let's concentrate on that. Now, they are light-bodied, with drakes weighing in around 5 pounds and the duck hens around 5.5. So the hens are bigger than the drakes.
Apparently, in this case, I think a lot of duck breeds, the males and females are very similar.
They
in weight.
are. Because, I mean, the only difference is the curly tail, basically.
Right.
Okay. So
this breed has a lot of difference between the sexes color-wise, too.
Okay.
But they're very similar in size.
Okay, so then let's look in. They have long, moderately upright bodies. The easiest way to describe the colors, they're silver frosted mallards. Think about that.
Right.
Okay? But their coloring is much more complex than that. The females should not have stripes on their faces. Their bills should be greenish black and darkening with age. Now, that's a lot to look into a little duck and see. Okay? Oh my God, do they have this? They have that. Their legs and feet start out orange and darken to brown as they age. Now, the drakes have a green bill and orange legs and feet. It takes a while for the phases of plumage to develop, so it pays to stay a little patient with this. The duck hens are excellent layers. This is one of those breeds.
Yes.
Them and the khaki Campbell, but they're from them, so it makes sense.
Completely derived, right.
So you can expect anywhere from 250 to 300 large white or blue tinted eggs per year. That's a lot of eggs. And they're larger.
That's right.
So, think about 250 to 300 eggs, but double that basically because they're double at least in size than your chicken eggs.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are going to give you lots of eggs. They will occasionally go broody and hatch a clutch for you.
Yes.
So they're pretty good little birds and they're beautiful.
We know that ducks of all sorts make excellent additions to a small farm or a homestead.
They love eating bugs. I think even more than chickens, to be honest with you.
I think so, and I think they're better at rooting them out of the ground than chickens.
I just see their little bills. Where we used to live, we were by the water all the time.
Right.
And we would always have mallards.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
That's one of the reasons I'm so duck crazy, because I grew up seeing the mallards on the beach every day.
And the mallards would walk right up to, even when I grew up in a townhouse, in a row home, they would walk up to the porch and you would feed them.
Yeah.
And you would just see their little beaks going in the garden and looking for the bugs and everything. So we had ducks around us at all times growing up. Wild ducks.
If you want to add ducks, the biggest thing is you need to come up with a water plan. That is how much water they need, how to contain it, how often to dump and clean it, etc. And it's worth knowing that ahead of time and not trying to improvise. Because water management is a thing.
Water management is a thing because, okay, just think about this. If you have a larger container, you're going to have to empty it and you're going to be flooding an area constantly.
Right.
So, you want to make sure your grading is that you're not sending this water down into, say, your chicken coop or someplace else and it's just going to puddle. So it is a good idea to think about this. You don't have to go huge.
No,
you can do
not at all.
smaller areas, give them a little place to swim around, and you can even do baby pools if you'd like.
Absolutely.
They work well for people.
And I think you probably even want a water plan for your brooder.
Oh, heck yeah.
One of the things I learned at Cooptastic from Mark Metzer's Waterfowl Talk, this is my big takeaway, is that ducks and goslings can have the water a lot higher than it can be for chicks.
Yeah.
You can have it raised up at chest height and they can drink it just fine.
Yeah.
So, okay.
That talk was one of the best talks.
It was very, very useful.
It was really informative.
Mm-hmm. All ducks, certainly the Welsh Harlequins, are both heat and cold hardy, and they are generally quite healthy. The Harlequins, really excellent laying. They're active foraging, like you were saying, the bugs, the pest management skills.
They really do like to eat them.
And their liberal gifts of fertilizer, because they poop a lot, make them a very valuable addition to anyone who is growing food or trying to build healthy soil.
Now, they could be great showbirds because they're very pretty and they're pretty friendly.
Yeah.
So
they're supposed to be one of the quieter breeds. I take that with a grain of salt because any duck can quack and make noise.
Quack, quack, quack.
Yeah, exactly.
They like to quack. Okay, so everybody wants to know. Now everybody wants a Welsh Harlequin because they want to do Welsh Harlequin. Yeah.
How many Harlequin ducks are out there named Harley Quinn? I bet you there's a lot.
I bet you. Okay, so where can we find...
Do you name your Drake Joker?
Joker. Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's kind of cute.
Okay, get you some Harlequins. Go for it.
Okay, well, we all know the magpie's my duck, so...
I'm going to get some magpies.
Stop! Just stop. Okay, so where can everybody find the Welsh Harlequin?
McMurray Hatchery has beautiful sexed Harlequin ducks, and you can also order them from our friends at Metzer Farm.
Yes, you can. Okay, so if you have pictures you'd like to share with us, we would like to see them. Go on Instagram, do a story, hit the mention button, put us in. That way we can reshare it to ours.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera US.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today. Roosty's proudly sponsors Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. They're back with an innovative new product. You're going to want to check this out.
It's an extra large set, a 14-pound feeder and 3-gallon water with steep anti-roost lids. They're made of super durable material. You can either stand them on legs or hang them on brackets on your coop or fence. They're easy to remove and clean too. Plus, they look awesome.
We personally use Roosties and we're huge fans. So if you're raising chicks or keeping chickens, check out the Roosty store on Amazon or follow the link in our show notes.
UK chicken lovers, this one's for you. Get happy, healthy hens with ECONourish's live Calci worms. Enrichment, nutrition, and protection in one tasty, sustainable pack. Scientifically proven to support glossy feathers, strong laying and skeletal health,
protect from disease, and improve gut health and immunity. You'll also bust flock stress by stimulating natural instincts and get eco-bragging rights. Visit ECONourish.co.uk and use the code COFFEE15 for 15% off your first order. Your chickens and the planet will hug you for it. Okay, are we ready for main topic? Yeah.
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 Joining us this week, we have really a very special guest with an amazing story. We're talking to Amy Van Leuven, the founder of Good Egg Company. She gave us an absolutely amazing interview. Hope you enjoy it. Today, we have a really nice treat. Amy Van Leuven is joining us. Amy is the co-founder of Good Egg Company. You will want to check out what they're doing. She's a chicken and duck mama, and she's here to tell us about her new company. Amy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course, of course. And like we were talking about before we started recording, we saw your ads before we even met, and we were like, ooh, this looks like something really good. Now, you're going to want to know Amy's name and what she's all about, and we're going to talk about it because it's really a fun thing, kind of just something that you really need.
You have an inspiring story. We're really
yes.
to share it with our listeners. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and your background.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Northern California, grew up in more of the rural areas, and grew up on a horse ranch. I grew up riding and raising horses, and so I've always been kind of a lover of animals and all things nature, outdoors. Love it. And then working with horses kind of sparked my interests in psychology, actually. So when I got to college, I got into the mental health field, started working there, started working in equine therapy. Yeah, it's super, super fun, super amazing with certain clients.
Horses are well known to really help people in a therapeutic way. There's a lot of people out there that really swear by how much horses can help you get through a really tough time in your life emotionally. I mean, they really have that in them to help. It's amazing.
Yeah, they really are so emotionally intelligent, and just everything about them is so conducive for a therapeutic environment. So growing up with all the stuff going on in my life as a young child, I just saw how much my horses helped me. And I was just like, wow, I need to be able to share this with other people. So once I got to college, I was all about psychology and got into social work later on in my master's. So I have my CSW right now. So I'm a therapist and I specialize in equine assisted psychotherapy. My husband and I met when we were I was 17 years old when I met my husband.
You were a baby.
We were really young and just hit it off and been going strong ever since. And we now live, we went from California to Hawaii to Utah. And we now live in Utah with our 2 girls and our whole slew of animals.
So what brought you to Utah?
Utah was for my husband's work. So he got a job. He's a filmmaker and got offered a pretty good job at the time right out of school. You know, we had to make the move.
That's amazing. I love that. I love it.
Do you have any horses with you now?
I do. We have 4.
Nice.
I love the fact that animals play such a role in therapy for people these days. And the thing is, you even know you could bring chickens into that also. Chickens have such an ability to love, such an ability to give that love out and make people feel and kind of forget about the problems for a while. And it's even chickens could do that for somebody, but some people go chickens, they're the gateway, but you went horse. Horse was the gateway into everything.
Yeah, we started big and are now getting the smaller ones. Yeah, it's interesting how it happened. But you're so right. I've had on several occasions, I've had clients who are coming for equine therapy who end up in the chicken coop wanting to just hang out with the chickens. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that works.
Horses are magical. And I grew up with them. And while I love them, they were never the animal for me. For me, it was sheep and the chickens. And I didn't find that out until I was 40 years old, but that's a whole other story. The horses are magical, and it's really amazing what they can help people with.
All animals, really. I mean, they can really take you away. They can also make you feel so relaxed that you're open to more therapy to help you through something. And they can just bring that love in. And it's a one thing, me working in an animal hospital setting for so many years, you learn how much love these animals give, and it just fills your heart with love every single day. Now, that brings me to our next question for you is, okay, we know this has got to be yes, but do you keep chickens and or other poultry? And we want you to tell us a little bit about your flock. I mean, we're thinking yes, for sure.
Yes, we do. We started off with ducks, actually. And this is a fun story. I actually can't eat chicken eggs.
Wow.
Most people don't know that because they're like, you have a chicken product, but I can't eat chicken eggs. Fun fact.
That's okay. That's okay.
I've heard people here and there that they can't digest the chicken eggs, but they do okay with duck eggs.
Yep. And that's me. So I just forever couldn't handle chicken eggs. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's try duck eggs. And I found a local guy who had some duck eggs for sale, tried them out, and they were fine. And I was like, whoa. So we got our own ducks, and that's how it all began. But my family loves chicken eggs too. So we just kept adding, that's how it goes, right? You can't just get a few.
No.
So tell us about your flock. What types of breeds do you have in your flock?
So our ducks are Welsh Harlequins. They're really beautiful and I love them. And then our chickens, we kind of have a mixed variety. We've got some Buff Orpingtons and Americanas. And I'm sure there's, a couple others sprinkled in there too.
All nice breeds, beautiful breeds.
Yeah, those are my favorites. So those are the ones I really remember. I love the other ones too, but
And you have 2 daughters. Are they loving being with all the animals? I'm sure they are.
Oh, they love it. It's such a amazing, fulfilling thing for me to just see my girls. Well, one of them can't climb up on a horse yet, but the other one just like climbing up on her pony, just sitting there while her pony's eating her breakfast. I'm just like, oh, that's it right there. Like, that's it. My little one just toddling after the chickens and the ducks. It makes me so happy. It's just so sweet.
That's adorable. My goodness.
And they're so good with them. The animals are so sweet and gentle with them. It's amazing how they know, right? They just are like, oh, this is a little one. Let's be careful.
It is funny. I mean, even the biggest animals, it's so funny, but it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have your horses, you have your ducks and your chickens, and then all of a sudden you have come out with this product. And it's a very innovative product, and it makes the lives of all of us with backyard flocks way easier. So
yes, thank you. Thank you.
We're talking about your Good Egg Kit. And I have to say, go to the show notes and go to the link for Amy's company because you want to look at this kit. The kit arrives and it's like a nest.
It's so cute. Oh my gosh.
There's an enzyme wash for washing the eggs. And then there are these scrubbers, these rib scrubbers they're about the shape of half an egg. And it's the cutest thing ever. And even on the box, like there are ducks quacking on the back of the box.
Everybody that knows us, we're about packaging. We want to be happy when the package arrives, right? So we love that cute packaging.
This is like the chicken lady. This is fantastic. It's a whole experience opening this box.
It is.
What inspired you? How did you come up with this, the wash and the scrubbers?
Oh, thank you. Thank you guys for all your nice words. Yeah, I'm glad you appreciate the packaging because we fought hard for that. We're like, we want this to be fun.
It's gorgeous. It's so fun.
I'm so glad. Thank you. Yeah. So inspiration for the product came from our ducks. We had our ducks and we started collecting their eggs. We're like, this is great. Fresh eggs are awesome. We're bringing them all in. And then we're like, wow, ducks are gross. Like these eggs are kind of gross, right? I mean, all eggs have bacteria. All eggs can get gunk and debris and feathers and poop or whatever on them. But ducks are a whole nother animal. Like they're a whole nother deal. They don't care about hygiene. It's almost like the dirtier place to lay, the better for them, I feel.
Oh, that's funny. Do they walk on their eggs? I mean, a lot of chickens will get their eggs dirty by walking on them. I'm assuming the ducks do the same.
Yeah, they do. And but more often it's harder to train them to lay in a coop in their nesting box. So they kind of, and I'm so lucky with my girls right now. They all are laying in their nesting boxes, which is amazing, but that's not always the case. Ducks like to kind of lay wherever they want. And sometimes they'll see a puddle of, rainwater that's just mud. And they're like, yep, that's where I want to lay my egg.
Oh, no.
You'll just see it like peeking out of the water a little bit. You're like, oh,
there's an egg.
Yeah.
There's breakfast.
Yeah. So delicious. Just like laying there in a mud puddle.
Fresh out of the muddy puddle. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talked about on different episodes about eggs being porous and eggs being 10,000 pores that cover them. So it is really important that whatever you're going to use on the egg, whatever the egg has on it that's bad, we have to come off. We have to do something. So your wash is really a spectacular product.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was our final cherry on top, and we're so excited about it. So our ducks were super gross and had messy eggs. So we were looking online. So we're like, okay, there has to be a better way. We're using things like rags and sponges, kind of what we do, because what else do you use? Your hands. And we just started realizing how gross that was because the rags just soak up everything. The sponges soak up everything. They hold so much bacteria. And then you have to decide, okay, this is the designated egg brush now. No one use it for anything else.
Yep.
But then you see your husband or your kid just like, oh, I'm washing dishes. And I'm like, no, that's not.
Why?
That's the egg sponge. So that was annoying, right? That was really frustrating process. It's just this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So we're like, there has to be something. So we started looking online. There was nothing. There was nothing other than like industrial washers, right? Like big machines for like 300 eggs at a time. Like, okay, what about just 5 eggs at a time? Maybe 10. I don't know. Get crazy, do 20. But just something that was simpler and cleaner than a gross sponge, right? That was affordable. It wasn't a huge machine, the taking up space. So that's kind of where it came from, is we couldn't believe that there wasn't anything already on the market. And my husband is an amazing entrepreneur, and he just has that kind of brain. And so he just got going on it. He's like, we got to do this. So we just started brainstorming. We started making connections and partnerships and all stuff. And it just kept chugging along. And then, we came across the opportunity to bring in the enzyme wash, which was super awesome. And oh man, it's been a game changer in our house for sure. All natural, 99% organic. It's just, you can't get, it's food grade too. So like, even if it's not going to hurt you no matter what, right? And it doesn't penetrate, it's awesome. So
I love the fact that it's gentle, and because we're on well water and septic tank.
Both of us.
Whatever we wash is going into the septic. So I just love the fact that it's this gentle, natural cleanser. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
What is my favorite thing about the product is the shape, because I've tried different things. Like sometimes I have resorted to just a paper towel, right? And then you keep going, then you toss the paper towel, you get a new paper towel. But I love the fact that you can really scrub the egg and it's not like slipping out of your hand. It's just the eggs right in there. And then afterwards, you can just put it through your dishwasher. It's silicone, so it goes right in through your dishwasher. Whatever was put on there from those eggs will be washed off and sanitized and ready to use again. So once you buy it, you have it. You don't have to keep buying something else. It's not like you're using 100 paper towels or whatever, or leaving, this brush here, don't use it. The way it's shaped, it's the egg brush. It's for the eggs.
Did we say that there's 2 sizes? Because there are 2 sizes. There's one that is really good for chicken eggs, and probably my Bantam eggs would fit in here just fine. And then there's a bigger one for duck and goose eggs, which is brilliant, because there are even more of us that have multi-species flocks at this point.
Oh, yeah, Holly. And you're always talking about the geese over there.
Just wait till they're here.
Always bragging about her diverse flock.
Yes, I'm all chickens. She's like, oh, the geese are coming. I was like, you better give me some goose eggs. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to remind you of that the next time you're giving me hassle over something. I'm going to be like, goose eggs, really? Have you earned goose eggs? Do you deserve goose eggs?
I have earned these goose eggs, and I'm going to wash them with my good egg washer. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
I'm definitely going to give you dirty ones.
No, you're not. No. That's bad.
What I'm trying to say is I kind of feel like you're going to end up with ducks at some point. You're going to get ducks too. I'm going to get ducks too.
Don't tell Joe that.
No, get ducks. Ducks are fun. I'm here to be a bad influence. Get ducks.
Joe, Amy's telling me I need to get ducks. Listen to this.
You do. You need ducks. I need ducks. My husband, for whatever reason, went for the geese before the ducks. And I'm not one to look a gift bird in the mouth. So I was like, geese it is. Mama's bringing home some goslings.
Yeah, you got to take what you can get. Oh, that's fun.
Right. Yeah. I'm so excited. I've already named them. I don't even have the goslings yet. I've named them, and yeah.
She's goose crazy. That's what I'm dealing with all the time. A goose crazy lady over there.
It's true. I am so excited.
I'm like, don't forget the chickens. Don't forget the chickens.
I love my chickens. I'm a hardcore chicken lady. What do you don't forget my chickens? So when you were working on the scrubbers, how long did it take you to come up with the shapes, or how long in the process was it before that idea, the final shape came to you?
Oh yeah, I'd say we were working on that for about a year. I mean, maybe even longer until the final came out. We have so many. I should have brought my box of prototypes to show you guys. We have so many different shapes and configurations and contraptions. It started off as something completely different. It was like this big. It was
wow.
Yeah, it was like this. So it has evolved, and it's much easier now and simpler. But it took that to realize what worked, right? Like you have to start somewhere.
I mean, you could have washed an ostrich egg with that first size. I mean, you could have been like, my pet ostrich just laid an egg. I gotta go to the sink and wash it. Save that one in case you ever get an ostrich, and then you'll be good.
What I'm saying. Yeah, people have been asking about emu eggs.
Yes, there you go.
They're so beautiful. Those emu eggs are like emerald green. They're gorgeous.
I mean, you already have the size. That's perfect.
Yeah, why do more work when you don't have to, right? Like, it's ready.
It's ready
right
to go.
there.
Okay, so we want to get into a little bit of a story behind the story, because your company, this is one thing that really drew us to you, and that you give a very large percentage of what you sell to families affected by cancer. And when we read that, we were like, we need to work with you, because we love that. And we love the fact that you're reaching out to people and you're helping people along with animals and everything else. I want to ask the question, and I want you to really, if you could, tell us where this goes back to for you, how this all came about with that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, before we get into that, our kind of motto as a company is to be better and do good. So through everything, we're just striving, honestly, to bring better things for people, to make their lives easier and just help and spread goodness. Like, that is our life goal. And if this is going to help us get there, then that's amazing. But
what people can't see right now is your smile, and you have a beautiful smile. You really do. And it's brightening our screen right now. And I love that you're so passionate about this and smiling from ear to ear about your product.
Well, thank you. Oh, you're making me blush now. I'm glad people can't see. I'm all like rosy.
It's true, though. I mean, the light up, I think that's right on. You do light up. Yeah, it's true.
It's so nice to see. It touches everybody.
She's making you touch people too.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, we had to put it in there. We just had to.
Well, thank you guys. That means a lot. That's really sweet. But yeah, the inspiration for our fundraiser is tied to my own personal journey with cancer. And we were getting the prototype ready for like over a year. Right when we finally had it ready to go, I was diagnosed. And that was 2022. I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I was pregnant at the time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it was quite something. And we couldn't really do much because I was pregnant. So I couldn't do CT scans, PET scans, any of that to realize how far spread it was or anything. But we did know just based on biopsy that it was at least stage 3 metastatic.
Gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so there were a couple different treatments that I was able to start while pregnant that are apparently deemed safe enough to do while pregnant. So we kind of took that leap of faith and started those treatments. And that was like chemotherapy treatment, which was really, I look back now and I'm like, how did I justify and make that okay? I think when you're in those moments, it's just something happens to you when you are facing a life-threatening situation. And especially as a mother, you become this ferocious animal and you will do what you need to do to survive.
Exactly.
Children. And that's what happened to me. And I just became this like animal and I just did what I had to do. So at the time, it didn't seem that difficult. Looking back now, it seems harder than I felt like it was at the time, which is interesting. But yeah, so I did that. Once I had my beautiful, healthy baby girl who's perfect and she's completely fine, then I was able to get serious, real serious, and get all the scans and see. And then we discovered that it was stage 4.
Oh my gosh.
And I had metastasized to my liver. So it was pretty bad. The scans were pretty brutal. Like my liver looked like Swiss cheese. It was pretty bad. So yeah, it wasn't a very hopeful situation, but through it, I was able to use a lot of alternative therapies, a lot of kind of more Eastern medicine type things to complement my Western treatment. And it was so helpful. I was doing meditation, I was doing therapy, I was doing energy work, I was doing all these things that made me so hopeful and positive. And it wasn't even that I just like felt like I was probably okay. Like I knew
right.
I was going to be okay. And I had everyone telling me that or not everyone, my family obviously was supporting me in that mindset, but I did have a lot of my medical team and a lot of people expressed concern about the reality of the situation and how I need to be preparing myself and all this. And I was like, nope, you're wrong. I'm going to be fine. I'm making it. So yeah, so that was a whole thing. And
so how many years did you go through the treatments? So you basically started within 2020, the treatments, or was it 2021?
I started treatment in 2022.
Okay.
And I had said that I would be cancer-free a year from starting treatment. And I did treatment into 23, and then I got rescanned about almost exactly a year from that. And my cancer in my liver was completely gone and nothing showed up on scans. So it was pretty amazing that I was able to get it all gone that fast within a year. So that was amazing, really miraculous and magical and all the things. But I definitely put in the work, and I did a lot of research and work into all the things I could be doing, not just at the hospitals, but at home, how I could be feeding myself and eating all these cancer-fighting foods and drinks and all the things. And I was doing IV therapies. I could go on and on about all the things I did, but I was just that was my full-time job.
To get better and be a mama and see your children. I completely 100% see what you're talking about. And you inspire us. I hope that there's this one person out there that's not been getting, a mammogram or something, and you inspire them to go and get checked out and make sure, because you can make a difference. And if they could only see the smile that we were seeing on your face, they would understand that you have that within you, that drive. Not everybody has that, but you have that fight and it comes through. And we're just so glad that you're feeling better. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I if one person can hear this and have some good come from it, then mission accomplished for me. And
for all of us. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I hope too that my biggest hope is to be able to inspire people to realize how much more powerful they are than they realize. Because lots of cancer and all kind of chronic illness is really something that kind of takes people's strength away and tries to just make you feel like you don't have control, when really you have a lot more than than you think you do. And there's so many things that can be done outside of what regular typical treatment is. There's so much. So to just be open and just to...
How did your animals play in your therapy? Did they really help you through this also?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I spent a lot of time out in the yard with the birds and with my horses. I did a lot of trail riding. Just get out in nature and trail ride. And yeah, it's very therapeutic and it was so helpful. And anytime I'm feeling a little bit down, I just go out and I hug my horse.
Yeah, amazing right there. And you mentioned the cancer fighting foods. And I think most of us started off with chickens because we wanted a source of good, clean, fresh eggs, or ducks for the same reason. Were you able to grow anything you were eating?
Yeah, during the summers, I did for sure. We had a full garden. I had all my lettuce, all my herbs and tomatoes and squash and peppers and all that. So I love that. I wish so badly I could do that year round and have enough to sustain us, but not yet. Maybe at the next property.
You'll do it. I know, looking at you, you're going to do it. That's for sure.
Thanks. Yeah, it's definitely on our to-do list. So we'll get there. That's part of the reason we really wanted to invest in our birds and have our own source of eggs and vegetables, all of this. Like, we want our own homestead because we don't really trust anything that comes from somewhere else, like, other than if homegrown. We don't super trust what we buy at the store anymore. It's
hard these days because there's so many preservatives and things. Oh, this lasts for 6 months. Well, if it lasts for 6 months, that's a problem, so you got to figure out like the happy medium here. Like, we have to put less because so many cancers are due to what you're ingesting, what you're putting into your body, and all the tests kind of show, like, if you put these bad things in, some bad things could happen to you too. I mean, it could have nothing to do with it, but it could have, like you said, if you're putting clean eating, you're eating what you're growing, that can really help you. I mean, you look amazing. You look amazing.
You do look amazing.
You fought a really hard fight, and that smile, I'm telling you, it does brighten. It brightens our day.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you guys. Yeah, it's definitely hasn't been smiles the whole time, but I'd say the majority we've been able to keep smiling. And I think it's just because of our commitment to learning more. Knowledge gives you power, and learning what's creating the cancer. My body made this cancer, so I know that my body can heal it. So it's just figuring out how and why and all of that, and then trying to, and I never want to say that like everyone's capable of healing their cancer all the way. Like that's a very bold thing. And I would never say that. You're not always 100% in control of everything, but there is more you can do, right? Like there's always more than you think that could be affecting or making you healthier. You have more power than you realize. Yeah.
You did it the right way. You did both conventional and, Western and Eastern. I mean, that's like the golden ticket right there, is to utilize the best of both places and give yourself a fighting chance that way. And your mindset got you through. Now, my question is, at what point were you still in treatment when you decided, okay, that's it, I'm feeling well enough, let's get the wash and let's get the cleansers out there, let's get everything out, let's start living this dream that we had again? What part of your journey, where were you when this happened?
Yeah, we were in early 23, I want to say. And I'm not very good with timelines, but I remember when it happened in my mind. I went into remission. So we saw the treatment was working. I was getting better. I had massive improvements on my scans. I wasn't clear yet, but I was going the right direction. And that's when we're like, okay, let's get this going because I'm going to be cancer-free soon, right? Like that was the mentality.
Exactly.
So that's when we started.
Yeah, inspiring is the absolute right word. As Chrissy was saying that, I was sitting here thinking, this is just amazingly inspiring.
She reminds me of Rebecca.
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Rebecca is our vet.
Yeah.
She has
a cancer story herself, and she is highly inspirational and remarkable in all the same ways that you are. You have that fight. That's for sure.
I like the fact that, whether, and I think you're right, when it comes to industrial produced food, you can't trust it 100%, can you? But just the fact that if you can provide your own veg and your own eggs, the nutrient density compared to what you're buying is probably exponential.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell, right? You can tell on how it tastes, and you can tell even how it smells. Like cilantro from the grocery store versus from your garden. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference.
It's a remarkable difference. And we always go back to Mother Earth News did a study, and there are some other studies out there that tracked the nutritional differences between just backyard flocks and industrially produced eggs sold in the supermarket. And the nutrients were
crazy.
Astounding how different it was.
I mean, right down to a third of the cholesterol from your backyard chicken egg versus an egg that is being treated with all these different things to stay good for 6 years, like, come on. I mean,
and this is me being totally woo-woo, but I still think that a healthier egg is going to come from a happy hen or duck than one that's,
I don't think that's woo at all. If you're not happy, you're not healthy. Like, it's just how it goes.
It's true. Well, Amy, this has been, you're giving me goosebumps so many times. It's just an amazing chat. But we're going to circle back to the good egg because we can't say enough good things about this little egg washing kit too. What are your plans for the future for the company? Anything new coming up?
So, we're really excited. This year is going to be a big year, I think, for us. But right now, like, we're just focused on still getting us off the ground, right? Like, just have a successful company. I mean, it's been, as with any small family business, like, it's not without its challenges or its hurdles or the bumps along the way. There's definitely been those, but overall, I think we're handling pretty well. And this year, we're excited to hopefully start getting into some stores. So that'll be fun.
Retail, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, we're kind of working on that right now. And we'll see what comes down the line. I don't know, but there's a lot of potential for possibly new products or some fun merchandise coming out too, which I'm extra excited about.
Oh, I bet. I love that.
You're extra excited about it. Holly loves those puns.
Yeah, we love our puns over here for sure.
The egg puns. Well, I'm going to have the company linked in our show notes. Go and check out the kit. It's earth friendly. It is a small family-run business. I can't say enough good things about your products.
And we still have one more question for Amy before she leaves.
We do.
That is the most important question of the entire interview because everybody that comes on the show has to answer it. And everyone tells us how unfair the question is, but it is part of being on the show. Amy, what is your favorite breed of chicken or chicken and ducks and why?
Okay, I'll start with my favorite duck breed, and that is going to be Welsh Harlequin. They are beautiful, they are sweet, and they're not too loud, and they also lay so many eggs. I should show you my counter right now. It's crazy, and it's winter, and there's
you might have to show us one after we get done recording because I would love to see an egg from them.
They are stunning ducks. They're absolutely beautiful ducks. We saw them. We went to the Ohio National Poultry Show and spent a lot of time in the ducks.
Yeah, they are beautiful. And they're just so funny. Like, they're just so funny. They have such personalities. I love in the summer watching them just play in their pool, and they're just hilarious to watch. So, Welsh Harlequin for ducks. And then as far as chickens go, I'm just going to go from my own flock. My favorite from our flock is an Americana named Cutie Pie.
Oh,
I love her because of her cheeks. I just love her. Her cheeks are just adorable. She's got the little fluff.
Is she huggable? Is she huggable?
You know, some days she's more huggable than others. She's kind of a wild one, but I love her.
The Americanas do have a little bit of wild streak. I like that about them. But you cannot go wrong with cheek fluff. It's the cutest thing ever.
It is so cute.
She's adorable. She also is she kind of looks almost like a hawk. She looks hawk-like, but she also looks like a cuddly little plush animal. So I'm like, you're both. You're like predatory looking, but you're also a little fuzzy bunny. Like, you're just both mixed into one. And I think that's really
Those
cute.
Americanas can have that kind of eagle or hawk look to them. Yeah. The way the colors, especially Chrissy, I want to say both of our groups of Americanas early on, people would be like, that bird looks like a hawk. Or that bird looks like a
like Ruby and Pearl both had that look. Yeah. The thing I love about the Americanas is you kind of don't know what you're going to get until you get what you get, right? So they can look totally different. I love that bringing them into a flock because it's so much easier to tell people apart when you're calling and yelling at somebody like, I told you don't go over there. And like, oh, who am I yelling at today? Like, this kind of thing. You know who you're talking to when you're talking to an Americana because they all look different, right? Yeah. So I love that. I love the colored eggs. I love their personalities. It's been such a fun hour talking to you. You inspire us because you have a lot of fight in you. And there is nothing wrong with the woman who comes out and fights hard and can embrace love and embrace life. Keep it up. It's so nice to meet you. I feel like we've met another friend. You've inspired us. I've got goosebumps. Holly's got goosebumps.
And geese.
And if you need a mammogram, go out and you had to say geese in there. I try to get serious here for a minute. And you bring up the geese.
Yes, I know. Geese and mammogram. They're both very important. I agree with you.
Honk, honk. Go out there. Honk your honks. Exactly. Honk your honks. You could.
That's our new terminology for a breast exam. Honk your honks.
Honk your honks. There you go. I came up with a new one.
Honkers.
Go get your honkers checked. If you're the goose.
Get your honkers checked.
And get a mammogram, no joke, and go do it. And know that you can, anything that comes along, you can do it. And Amy, you're so inspiring. And the fact that you give back so much, the percentile that you give back is huge. A lot of companies say it's like this much. People can't see but you give away in terms of this much. And that's saying a lot.
You're talking, a lot of companies will say 1% or 2% of purchases. You give a whopping 10%.
That's huge.
It is. It is
really huge. You can buy this product and then feel good that you're helping somebody else along the way while you're cleaning your eggs. Clean away. And it's fun. It's fun to clean them this way. It's not this like, hey, I got a paper towel in my hand anymore. You got this cool tool. And hey, for people who have large eggs out there, you need to talk to Amy to bring the first one out, the emo kit.
The ostrich cleaner.
Ostrich cleaner. That would be amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we'll bust that out for special occasions. But something I wanted to add real quick to you bringing up that we give 10% away. The reason, I mean, we give so much because it's so important and personal to us, but also because of our experience going through it, we realized how difficult everyday expenses become. And also, we did a lot of alternative therapies that are not covered by insurance, right? So these families who are trying to seek out other ways to heal, it's so hard to be able to afford it. So that's a real big piece of why we wanted to donate the amount that we do. And the other reason, or the other, I guess, fact about it is that we are not donating to research. We're not donating to a hospital. We're not donating to anything like that where it gets watered down. It doesn't actually go to the families. We're giving directly to people and families, not to like a conglomeration, which there's not that many. Because I know when I was in it, I was looking for help, and I was looking for places that would give grants to families going through it. And there were a few, but they were hard to figure out. Like they were so complicated, and it was just made it so difficult. And I don't see many people going through that while they're in the fight of their lives, like spending all these hours trying to figure out, right? So we just wanted it to be more simple and more accessible and going directly to the people who actually need it, not to these big hospitals and places that already are loaded. We wanted it to go directly to people who need help.
I mean, you make a very good point. A lot of the complementary therapies are the things that help with pain and sleeping and just helping a person feel better while they go through this. And they're not covered by insurance. It's true.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and you're doing your share because that 10% is huge to give back. And those families, I'm sure, are so grateful to you and for the help. And all of us, you can purchase the product and know that 10% of that is going to a family in need and feel good about that. And you know what? Think about it while you're cleaning your eggs occasionally. There are people out there really fighting, and you're helping them even just by purchasing this product. And on top of it, you're getting this amazing egg cleaner that you're like, why haven't I had this in my life like all along? Like, come on. And
nice meditative moment too. When you're washing your eggs, that's a nice time to
reflect.
It really is. Yeah. There's something very soothing and zen. Is there anything more zen than washing your eggs? That's what I was trying to come up with.
Usually you're at the sink, and mostly people have a window in front of them, usually at their sink. I'm always looking outside while I'm doing that. And it is one of those acts that kind of like you can do it easily and take that mind vacation and think I'm helping somebody just from purchasing this amazing product. It's been so wonderful to have you on the show and to meet you. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. And it's my honor to be able to give back in whatever way we can. So I appreciate you and all the kind things you've said.
No, you don't have to thank us. You are an amazing lady, and it's our pleasure to have you on the show and to tell your story.
Thank you, Amy. We will be checking in again in the future with you. And we'd love to have you back on the next time you're making a big change for the egg company. Everyone wants to hear about it.
Let's go to Utah and ride some horses with Amy.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Come on out here. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Take care, Amy.
We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We just want to thank Amy one more time for such a really frank and fantastic conversation.
And inspiring. If this does not inspire you, go schedule your mammogram today. Please do it.
Honk your honkers.
Honk your honkers. Okay, so let's move on to
cracking the eggs.
Cracking those eggs.
Well, it just so happens that Amy gave us a recipe.
And this is our recipe for cracking the eggs is Amy's Healthier Brownies.
And you can use duck eggs in them.
I think she does.
It's very exciting.
Yes, she does. Okay, so the Healthier Brownies, and if you listen in the interview, she talks about the diet and changing everything that she eats to try to help with the cancer, right? So this is one of the things that she wanted something that was healthier, but still was a little sweet for her.
Right.
So she came up with this brownie recipe. So let's go through the list of ingredients that you're going to need. It's a 1/2 cup of organic grass-fed unsalted butter, 1 cup of raw, unrefined organic sugar, 2 fresh duck eggs, or 1 if they're extra large.
You could probably also do 3 moderate-sized chicken eggs or 1 goose egg.
You could.
I'll write that up in the notes.
Yeah. But for this recipe, this was hers.
2 ducks.
She uses 2 fresh duck eggs, 1 teaspoon of organic pure vanilla, a 1/2 cup organic cacao powder. Now, I went to an actual cacao orchard in Costa Rica that I loved.
I'm sure it was amazing.
It was amazing. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of aluminum-free baking powder, a 1/3 cup of organic flour, and that's all you need. Now, the cacao, it does have a sweet taste all of its own, and the sugar that you're going to be putting in is going to sweeten it up just enough.
I mean, I would imagine if you can't find cacao, you can use cocoa powder. But if you're going for the full experience, see if you can get your hands on it.
And you can order that out. Like, I know the place in Costa Rica was sending it out around the world. So it might be something that you want to order out for.
Right. You're going to heat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and butter an 8 by 8 inch baking dish. Melt your butter in a large saucepan over low heat. Remove it from the heat, whisk in the sugar, and then whisk in the eggs one at a time. Then add your vanilla. Stir in the cacao powder, the flour, the salt, and the baking powder. Mix all that together, pour it into your pan and spread it out. Pop it in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes, and boom, there you go. It's probably some delicious tasting brownies.
Delicious, and so just the pure sweetness of the cacao and the sugar, the little bit of sugar put together, so healthy for you.
Absolutely. We will, of course, share this recipe where we always share the recipes. Before that time comes, I will test this with the gluten and dairy free and make any notes if you need to adjust things accordingly.
And know that it can be, and Amy said it can be gluten and dairy free also. So that's awesome.
I wish I could bake with duck eggs every day.
Try it. You might like it.
I can probably make this with 1 goose egg though.
Yeah, you could probably.
Yeah. So,
okay. So are we ready to move on to retail therapy? Retail therapy. Yeah. This week's retail therapy, we wanted to do something just a little fun and silly. Okay, so we shared this little tidbit on our Facebook page because we just think it's so cute. It's the week after Easter, but who cares? Everybody loves chicken stuff, right? So we're going to talk Hallmark, and what did they have, Holly, in?
The Rockin springtime egg-laying chicken. She dances, she clucks, she lays an egg.
Can you get any better than this?
I think she's so fun. Just a couple notes on the Hallmark company because they're very interesting. The Hall family, they were actually quite a poor family. And the boys of the family, including Joyce.
Was Joyce a boy?
Yeah, it's not an uncommon name, actually. There were 3 boys in the family, Joyce, Raleigh, and William. And when they were teenagers, they pooled all of their money and they opened the Norfolk Postcard Company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, they didn't really sell a lot of postcards where they were in Nebraska. So Joyce packed up 2 boxes of postcards and he took a train for Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, so Nebraska to Kansas City, Missouri. Okay.
He continued selling his postcards. One of the brothers came and joined him. They were doing pretty well, but then they found their market started to fall off because people wanted more privacy in their correspondence. So they started making greeting cards, specifically Valentine's and Christmas cards.
Okay.
And the business took off from there.
So they started with Valentine's and Christmas cards. So you know what they're known for most these days is birthday cards.
Right. That's right.
It's crazy.
So I want to say it was about 1910 when they started this.
Okay.
And 5 years later, they were hit by a fire.
Oh,
that really destroyed their inventory.
That's not good for a card company.
No, it destroyed their inventory entirely. So the boys somehow got themselves a loan and they went out and bought engraving material and printing presses. The 3rd brother joined them. And in 1923, they formed Hall Brothers. So the business was called Hall Brothers. And they really, really, really did very well. They started in the 1920s, they started putting a Hallmark card on the back of the greeting cards.
Oh, okay.
So moving towards the name. Everyone knows the Hallmark Channel and the Hallmark movies, right? Well, they had sponsored in 1951 a live production of a Mall in the Night Visitors. It was broadcast, and that broadcast launched what would become the Hallmark Hall of Fame series.
Wow.
Right? So, I mean, and from there, they just continued doing what they were doing.
Exploded into what we know as Hallmark today. I mean, you could go, I'm almost saying worldwide. I don't know that for sure, but at least in the United States, I know this for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You say Hallmark, people know what you're talking about.
Yes.
They know it's the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have branched into, they do have their own channel. My mom was addicted to it when she was here recovering.
I'm sure.
She watched it for hours and hours every day, but there's only so many of those. It's the same premise, the movie, over and over again. It's just a different thing. But and now they make these cute little toys also.
They expanded into gifts quite a while ago. The chicken is, she looks like a plush chicken.
She does. Now, in the studio over there is the basket from Hallmark that they had a few years ago. It's the chicken Easter basket. Do you see it?
I do see it.
Yeah.
They actually put out a surprising amount of chicken stuff. They put out a chicken ornament every December. Did you know that?
Yeah. And for Easter, they do something every year.
Tons of chicken
for chicks and chickens. It's a place to go if you want to go get something chickens. I mean,
do they have cozy Easter movies the same as they have cozy Christmas movies?
I don't know. I'm going to have to check out the Hallmark channel.
That's a good question. I know a whole lot more about the Hall brothers than I ever knew before.
It's kind of an interesting story.
It is an interesting story.
It's a day of interesting stories from the Hall brothers to the Harlequin.
Leslie Bonnet, he was fascinating.
The Joan and the artist who, said, grab your 1,500 ducks and let's get the hell out of here.
When
let's go.
I first read that, I thought, is that a typo? Surely it's 150.
That was one of my favorite stories for Breed Spotlights.
Mine too. I honestly could see that as a BBC drama.
Oh yeah, you see that? He's like working in the bank and he meets Joan, the artist, and is like, I like your paintings, Joan.
Gertrude, I can't go on like this. I must have a woman who loves my ducks.
You do not love my ducks. I need to find somebody who loves my ducks. It was quite the story. Okay, so on that note, should we tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week?
I'm not sure we can top Joan and Leslie, but next week we are revisiting, this is an old, very, very old, very interesting breed, the Crevecoeur.
Yes, we are.
Our guest next week is Brittany from Bee Home Living. We're going to talk about all of her amazing brooder and chicken coop plans. It's good stuff.
And how women can build stuff and be strong.
We are strong. Cracking the eggs. New potato and egg salad on greens.
Yummy.
So delicious. And we're going to have a little vintage fun for retail therapy. Vintage salt and pepper shakers.
Yes, we are, because there are just so many of them.
Tons of them, and they're adorable.
Okay, so what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your ducks and chickens and geese.
Every day, and kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. Thanks for listening.